Good morning, dear students. Last class we studied about buffer solution and common and effect and how to calculate the pH of a buffer. Today here we are going to discuss another portion of this chapter, that is solubility product. The solubility product is also linked with the same common and effect. Okay, so before going to solubility product, let us know what is the solubility. So solubility means what is the amount of solute that can dissolve in a fixed amount of solvent at a particular temperature is known as the solubility. So solution means generally it consists of minimum two components. This is a homogeneous mixture of minimum two components and maximum components may be there. So the solute, there are two components, one is solute, one solvent. Solute may be in solid, liquid or gaseous phase, and the solvent may be also in solid, liquid and gaseous phase. But here in the solubility product or in the solubility in this chapter here, we are generally concerned with solution where a solute is solid and a solvent is liquid. And the liquid solvent is also generally taken as water. So water is taken as the universal solvent because of its high dielectric constant, its polarity, and the difference between the melting point and boiling point is also the difference is more. So in this way it is taken as the universal solvent. So if in this case particularly here we are going to discuss a solution where solute is solid and the solvent is a liquid, that is water. So what is the solubility of any component? What is the amount of solute that can dissolve in 100 grams of water to make a saturated solution at a particular temperature is known as solubility. So what is the saturated solution? So when solvent is there, water is there, and you add some solute to it and vigorously stir it. So vigorously stirring it, a condition comes when a little amount of solute remain undissolved in this solution, and that will remain below the container. So that solution, which can that solution in which a little amount of solute can remain undissolved, that is known as the solution is known as the saturated solution. And the saturated solution that also depends on another factor, that is temperature. So if you increase the temperature, then the solubility of salt increases, in general increases, but not in some cases, in all cases, because if this is exothermic in nature, if that is exothermic in nature, then the solubility decreases. If this is endothermic in nature, then solubility increases. So generally, with increase in temperature, the solubility of a component, a solute, generally increases. So the solution may become unsaturated at higher temperature. And if it is cooled down, a saturated solution at a higher temperature is there. And if it is cooled down, then after some time, some crystals or some solids were deposited or remain in the container. So the solute remain in the container. So at that condition, the solution becomes supersaturated. That condition is called supersaturated, where more amount of solute remain undissolved. Okay. So if the temperature decreases, then the solubility decreases. The temperature decreases, solubility decreases, and the solution may become supersaturated. If the temperature increases, then the solubility increases and the same solution may become unsaturated. So in this way, solubility generally measured at a fixed temperature. It is better to measure at standard temperature. Okay. So in this is the solubility. You know, there are different types of salts like sodium chloride, copper sulfate, potassium chloride, sodium sulfate. So these salts are highly soluble in water. While some salts like silver chromate, silver chloride, lead iodide, or lead chloride, these salts are less soluble in water. So when the less soluble salts are water, so a solution generally in its saturated condition, it is in equilibrium with its ion. A salt is in its saturated solution, a salt in its saturated solution, it is in equilibrium with its ions. For example, if you take the example of sodium chloride, if it is a saturated solution, then it is in equilibrium. In aqueous condition, it is equilibrium with its ions. Although it is a strong electrolyte, it will undergo complete dissociation, but it is in equilibrium at saturated condition. Similarly, any sparingly soluble salt, the salts which are less soluble, sparingly soluble or feebly soluble, so these salts are also in equilibrium with its ion, but at a very low concentration. So they will come in equilibrium with its ions at very low concentration. In this way, there exists a equilibrium between undissolved. For example, if you take the example of silver chloride. So in the aqueous solution, it is also in equilibrium with its ions, that is Ag plus and Cl minus. Okay, it is in equilibrium with its ions. This is also in aqueous. This is also in aqueous condition. Okay, so in aqueous condition, these are in equilibrium with its ions. So if this is in equilibrium with its ions, then there exists equilibrium. So when we apply equilibrium to it, then what happens? Suppose we apply equilibrium to it. So K equilibrium is equal to Ag plus concentration, Cl minus concentration divided by AgCl concentration. So as these are very sparingly soluble salt, the concentration of silver chloride is generally taken as constant. So very slightly they undergo dissociation or ionization, or in saturated condition, this concentration is taken as a constant. So as it is taken as constant, then the constant part we multiply another constant part. So rearranging this, the constant parts another way. So we can write or K equilibrium into AgCl concentration, it is equal to Ag plus concentration and Cl minus concentration. So this product, this value gives rise to another constant, that is called solubility product of AgCl, KSP. This is called KSP of AgCl, that is equal to Ag plus concentration into Cl minus concentration. Okay. So, generally, this K equilibrium concentration of this is known as KSP. This is called solubility product. So, solubility product is a product of molar concentration of its ions. Okay. So, in this way, solubility product is. Suppose we consider a more general way, a general equation, a general salt of having formula AX and BY. Then in saturated condition, it is in equilibrium with its. So Ax by means A, Y is the valency of A and X is the valency of B. In this way, when it dissociates, what will it give? X number of A, Y plus Y number of B, X minus. Y number of B, X minus. This is the charge of A and B. Okay, and X the number of A and Y is the number of B. In this way, what is the solubility product KSP of this AX BY? That is concentration of this A Y plus to the power X into B X minus to the power Y. Okay, so this product is known as solubility product. Now let us look at some examples of the salt. For example, suppose the salt is silver chromate, Ag2CrO4. Then it dissociates as 2Ag plus CrO4 2 minus. Then what is the KSP value? The KSP value in this case is Ag plus concentration the power 2 and CrO4 concentration 2 minus to the power 1. Suppose it is given another salt, calcium phosphate, Ca3PO4 whole twice, calcium phosphate. Then what is the solubility product of this? So first is calcium phosphate. This dissociates as 3Ca2 plus PO4 whole 3 minus. So two number of PO4 3 minus. In this way, what is the solubility product of this? The solubility product of this salt, that is equal to Ca2 plus concentration to the power 3 and PO4 minus 3 concentration phosphate ion PO4 minus 3 to the power 2. Okay, so how many numbers? In this, what is the solubility product? The solubility product is the product of molar concentration of ions. Each term rise to the power equal to its coefficient. Each term rise to the power equal to its coefficient as represented in a balance as given by one molecule of the salt. Okay, as given by one molecule of the salt in a saturated solution at a particular temperature. It is very important that the solubility product is generally considered at saturated condition. It is the saturated solution. Okay. So this is known as the solubility product. Similarly, another term is also there. So this is your solubility product. And solubility product is a constant for a particular salt at a particular temperature. If the temperature increases or decreases, then the solubility product value changes. Okay. So next come to another term that is known as ionic product. Ionic product. Ionic product, it has the same expression as that of the solubility product. Suppose we consider the salt same is AXBY. It dissociates to give X number of A Y plus B Y number of B X minus. So in this way, the solubility ionic product KIP, that is represented as AY plus to the power X into B X minus to the power Y. Okay. This is also the product of molar concentration of ions. Each term rise to the power equal to the number as given by one molecule of the salt. But difference is that at any concentration, at a particular temperature, at any concentration. Okay. So this is at saturated condition, saturated concentration, or saturated condition. This is at any condition, at any concentration of the solution. So in this way, the soluble product value, this Ksp value is a constant at a particular temperature, but this Ki value may be different. It depends on the concentration of the ions. Okay, that means when this Kip is equal to Ksp, the solution is saturated. The solution is saturated. Okay. Similarly, when Kip is less than Ksp, that means these concentrations are less than that of the concentration of these two. Then what happens if the Kip is less than Ksp? That means the solution is unsaturated and it can dissolve more amount of the solute. Okay, then Kip less than, then the solution is unsaturated. And when Kip is greater than Ksp, that means these two concentrations are higher than that of your condition. In this condition, these two values are higher than that of this. So if these values are higher than that of this, then what can we say? This Kip value is higher than the Ksp, so the solution is supersaturated and the salt will remain undissolved or the salt will form precipitate. The solution will form precipitate. Okay, so the solution is supersaturated this solution is supersaturated and the salt remain undissolved. And the salt remain undissolved. So this is the difference between solubility and solubility product. Solubility product and ionic. This is the difference between solubility product and ionic product. Next, the solubility of the salt can be expressed either in grams per liter, either in percentage, in different way it can be expressed. But it is better to express the solubility of the salt in moles per liter. The solubility also expressed in moles per liter. So if the solubility is expressed in moles per liter, then what is the relation between the solubility of the salt and the solubility product? Okay, let us now find out what is the relation between solubility and solubility product. Solubility and solubility product. Okay, so let us consider a salt AXBY which ionizes as X number of A Y plus Y number of B X minus. Okay, suppose the solubility is S moles per liter. Suppose its solubility is S moles per liter. So as it is a strong liquid, salt is a strong liquid, it undergo complete ionization. So if its molarity is S moles per liter, if its solubility is S moles per liter, then this is also S moles per liter, and this is also. But as it is X number of, the solubility is X moles of S, and it is also Y number of S moles per liter. It gives X number of S moles per liter, it gives Y number of S moles per liter. For example, if we have taken that is Ca3PO4 whole twice, then it gives you 3Ca2 plus 2PO4 minus 3. So in this 3Ca3PO4, so Ca2 plus in this S number of S and Y number of S. Then what is the solubility K value? This Ksp value, this is equal to Ay plus to the power x into b x minus to the power y. So this is equal to xs to the power x into ys to the power y, or x to the power x to the power x, y to the power y, x to the power y, or that is equal to x to the power x, y to the power y, x to the power x plus y. So this is the relation between solubility of the salt and solubility product if it is given in moles per liter. Okay. For example, if the salt is of type AB, salt type, this is salt type, it's AB. Then what is the salt type AB? What is the value of its Ksp? So AB, it gives rise to A plus, B minus, no coefficient is there. So in this way, its Ksp value is x to the power x, y to the power y, x to the power x plus y. So in this case, no coefficient is there. So it is s. This is s 1 to the power 1, 1 to the power 1, into s to the power 1 plus 1. That is s square. If the salt of type is AB, then its solubility product is equal to s square. And moles per liter, s square moles per liter product square. Okay. Similarly, if the salt is of type A to B type or AB2 type, A to B or AB2 type, then what are the coefficient? 1 coefficient and 2 coefficient. Then what is the value of its Ksp? Its value of Ksp is 1 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, x to the power 1 plus 2, that is 4x cubed. Okay. Similarly, if the salt of type is A3B or AB3 type salt, then what is the Ksp value? So So its KSP value is 1 to the power 1 into 3 to the power 3 into h to the power 1 plus 3. In this way, this value is equal to 27 h to the power 4. Similarly, the salt type is A2B3 or A3B2 type. Then what is the value of solubility product? So this is equal to 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 3 and h to the power 2 plus 3. That is equal to 108 h to the power 5. So this is the relationship between solubility and solubility product. And next we will discuss what are the applications of the solubility product and some numerical problems. So first note down these points. So solubility, the amount of solute in grams present in 100 grams of the solvent in a saturated solution at a particular temperature is known as solubility. So here solubility is represented in weight by weight percentage. In percentage, 100 grams of the solvent is different percentage. So solubility also expressed in terms of grams per liter or moles per liter. Okay. So water is taken as the universal solvent. Some salts like sodium chloride, silver nitrate, copper sulfate, these are highly soluble in water, while salts like silver chloride, silver bromide, barium sulfate, etc. are sparingly soluble in water. So they readily form saturated solution. These salts readily form at low concentration. They form the saturated solution, but this former they undergo saturated at high concentration. That means more amount of solute can dissolve. So when a salt is in saturated condition, it is in equilibrium with its ions. So note down this. So solubility product. Solubility product is a constant with the help of which you can compare the solubilities of different salts. Okay. So let us consider a sparingly soluble salt AgCl. AgCl gives rise to Ag plus and Cl minus. Apply law of chemical equilibrium K equal to Ag plus Cl minus by AgCl. Since the salt is sparingly soluble, the concentration of silver chloride is taken as constant. So the constant on one side and the variable part another side it will get. Then K AgCl is equal to Ag plus and Cl minus. So this is constant, these two products give rise to another constant known as KSP, solubility product, that is equal to Ag plus and Cl minus, molar concentration of Ag plus and Cl minus. KSP of AgCl, that is KSP of AgCl, Ag plus into Cl minus, where KSP is called solubility product. Next. Solubility product. In general, a saturated solution of a sparingly soluble salt like AxBy in water, the solubility product may be represented as KSP equal to Ay plus to the power x Bx minus to the power y. Hence, the Ay plus Bx minus is the cations and anions and positive ions and negative ions, and x and y are the number of ions. Okay. Since the solubility product is the product of molar concentration of the ions, each term rise to the power equal to the number as represented by, as given by one molecule of the salt when dissolved in water. One molecule of the salt. And generally that is taken in a saturated solution at a particular temperature. Okay. So it is a constant at a particular temperature for a particular salt. So first note down this. Next comes to another term, ionic product. So it is the product of molar concentration of the ions. Each term rise to the power equal to the numbers as given by one molecule of the salt at any concentration or at a particular temperature. Same, if the salt is our AxBy and give rise to H number of Ay plus B number of plus Y number of B x minus, then Kib is also the product of ay plus to the power x into bx minus to the power y. This is also the same, but this is at any concentration. That is a given solution at any concentration. This may be saturated, this may be unsaturated, this may be low concentrated, may be high concentrated. Okay. So in this step, what is the relationship between this? So it is not a constant. It is not a constant. It is generally variable. So it changes with change in concentration. The ionic product changes with change in concentration. Then what is the relation between this ionic product and soluble product? As both are the same expression, in this step, if KIP is equal to KSP, then the solution is saturated. If the solubility product is less than ionic product or ionic product is greater than the solubility product, then the solution is supersaturated. The concentration of ions are more, the solution is supersaturated and the solute get precipitated. That means undissolved particles will remain more. Okay. So if KSP is greater than KIP or solubility product is greater than ionic product or ionic product is less than the solubility product, then the solution have less concentration of these ions, or you can say the solution is unsaturated and it can dissolve more amount of solute. So note down this. Next come to what is the relationship between solubility and solubility product. If the solubility expressed in S moles per liter and the solubility product is KSP, then what is the? Let us consider the general salt, that is the general form AXBY, where the moles per liter, where the concentration of XBY is S moles per liter, then at equilibrium, this AXBY, it gives X moles of AY plus and Y plus of BX minus. So the concentration of AY plus is XS and concentration of BX minus, that is Y number of S, Y moles. Because you know there is one mole dissociates to give X moles of A and Y moles of B. In this way, XS into YS. Okay. So KSP is equal to AY plus to the power X and B is equal to BX minus to the power Y, or XS to the power X, YS to the power Y, or that is X to the power X, Y to the power Y, S to the power X plus Y. So in this way, if we consider different type of salt, for the salt AB, coefficient is 1, 1, so 1 to the power 1, 1 to the power 1, S to the power 1 plus 1, so in this it is equal to S square. So similarly, the solubility product given, we can find the solubility, this KSP to the power half. Similarly, for salt type AB2 or A2B, like CaF2 is given, PbI2 given, then this formula should be used. So KSP is equal to 4sp, 4sq, 1 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, in this way 4sq or S is equal to KSP by 4 to the power 1 by 3. Similarly, for salt type AB3 or A3B, KSP is equal to, that is 1 to the power 1, 3 to the power 3, S to the power 1 plus 3, so in this is equal to 27 S to the power 4, or S is equal to KSP by 27 into 1 by 4. Similarly, for salt type A2B3 or A3B2, KSP is equal to 2 to the power 2 into 3 to the power 3, S to the power 2 plus 3. In this value is equal to 108, 4 into 27, it is equal to 108, S to the power 5, or S is equal to KSP by 108, 1 by 5. So in this is the relationship between solubility and solubility product. Next, I have two homework for you. Find out what is the difference between ionic product and solubility product, and what is the difference between solubility and solubility product. So two questions homework. Okay, so first note down this. So two homework for you. What is the difference between ionic product and solubility product? Write down the difference between ionic product and solubility product. Another, what is the difference between solubility and solubility product? Okay, so next we'll discuss some applications of solubility product. Next come to for the application of solubility product. So it is helpful for the sorting out of soap as we have discussed in common and effect. It is also helpful to find pure sodium chloride from impure sodium chloride solution. And also it is helpful for the qualitative analysis of basic radicals. So you know a salt consists of two types of radicals. It is one cation and anion. So cations are also known as the basic radicals. To analyze them in a systematic way, the solubility product helps. So here all these cations are arranged according to their solubility product. So they are totally classified into 6 groups. Group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So group 1 have the lower solubility product, then that of the group 2, then that of 3, 4, 5. So the higher groups have higher value of solubility product than that of the lower groups. For example, group 1 has a lower value of solubility product than that of group 2. So in this way, all these are arranged according to their solubility product, so that when we add some specific reagent, if the solubility product, if its ionic product exceeds the solubility product, then a precipitate will be formed, and if the solubility product is higher, then its ionic product will not exceed its solubility product. In this way, no precipitate occurs. So these are arranged. If the ionic product is higher than that of the soluble product, then a precipitate will be formed. So these are arranged according to this. For example, the group 1 elements, they precipitate as the chlorides. So their chlorides have a lower value of solubility product, Ksp value, than that of group 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. So group 2, 3, 4, 5, they do not form precipitate in their chloride form because their chlorides have higher value of solubility product than that of group 1 elements. So in this group 1 elements, chlorides, for example, suppose we take the example of some silver chloride, or we take the example of mercurous chloride, Hg2Cl2. In this case, if some amount of HCl is added to it, dilute HCl is added to it, so due to common ion effect Cl minus ion, the silver chloride will get precipitate, and from this we can identify Eg. But the group 2 elements, that is the copper chloride, or what is the mercuric chloride, copper chloride, bismuth chloride, they have higher value of solubility product. In this way, the ionic product do not exceed the solubility product. In this way, they do not get precipitated by adding dilute HCl solution. But these have lower value of solubility product of the sulfides. So these group 2 reagents, they precipitate as their sulfides. They require less concentration of sulfide ion. Look here, the group 3 also precipitate as their hydroxide, group 4 precipitate as their sulfides, group 5 radicals precipitate as carbonates, and group 6 radicals, there is no specific reagent, they have very high value of solubility product. Okay, so group 4, they also precipitate as their sulfide, and group 2 also precipitate as their sulfide. But this group 2 have a lower value of solubility product than that of group 4. So lower value of solubility product means they require less concentration of sulfide ion. But they have higher value of solubility product, so which are present below. The higher groups, they have higher value of solubility product. So the group 4 has higher value of solubility product, the group 2 has lower value of solubility product. In this way, that means to get precipitate, they require less concentration of sulfide ion. So to get the less concentration of sulfide ion, this is before passing this hydrogen sulfide gas, these solutions are treated with dilute HCl. So when they are treated with dilute HCl give rise to H plus Cl minus, okay, and H2S, that gives you 2H plus Cl minus. So as the due to this common ion H plus, this dissociation of H2S decreases. the dissociation of H2S decreases, still it gives S minus 2. So 2H plus S minus 2. So due to this common ion effect, the dissociation of H2S decreases, it gives less concentration of sulfide ion. Still it is sufficient to exceed the soluble product. In this way, these ions get precipitated. But in case of group 4 radicals, they have high value of sulfur. They require high value of sulfide ion. In this way, when it is made this alkaline, so that when it made alkaline, so that some H plus ion. Look here, NH4 plus OH minus is there, and when water or H2S is there, H2S is there, it gives rise to 2H plus H minus 2. So in this way, H plus combines with OH minus ion to form water. So as the H plus concentration decreases here, it again the equilibrium shifts towards right, forming more amount of sulfide ion. So in presence of vessel, the concentration of the sulfide ion increases, which is helpful to exceed the solubility product. In this way, they get precipitated. So this is made. This also group 2 radicals, they precipitate as sulfides. Group 4 radicals, they precipitate as sulfides. But group 2 requires less concentration, it requires high concentration because it has lower value of solubility product, it has higher value of solubility product. In presence of HCl, due to common ion effect, the dissociation of sulfide ion decreases. In presence of vessel, the dissociation of hydrogen sulfide increases or the concentration of sulfide ion increases. In this way, it will helpful to exceed the solubility product value. And group 3 radicals, they precipitate as the hydroxide. They also require less concentration of hydroxide ion. So as they require less concentration of hydroxide ion, due to presence of this, before adding ammonium hydroxide, the solution, some amount of ammonium chloride should be added. So that if some amount of ammonium chloride is added, then the dissociation of ammonium hydroxide decreases. Look here, so this is ammonium chloride, it dissociates to give, ionizes to give NH4 plus Cl minus, and ammonium hydroxide, it dissociates to give NH4 plus OH minus. So as there is a common ion, NH4 plus is present, due to which dissociation of ammonium hydroxide decreases. As the dissociation of ammonium hydroxide decreases, it gives less concentration of OH minus ion, and the less concentration of this OH minus ion is sufficient to exceed the solubility product of the hydroxide of group 3 radicals. In this way, the ionic product becomes more than that of the solubility product value. In this way, these hydroxides get precipitated. Suppose you take ferric chloride, that is water soluble, ferric nitrate, that is water soluble, but to it, if you add little amount of ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide, then it will get precipitated, because the ionic product here exceeds the solubility product. Similarly, for the analysis of group 4 radicals, group 5 radicals, it requires that they precipitate as their carbonate form. So here it requires the group reagent is ammonium chloride, ammonium hydroxide, and ammonium carbonate. So due to presence of ammonium chloride, the dissociation of ammonium carbonate decreases, which gives less concentration of carbonate ion, like that of ammonium hydroxide in case of group 4 radicals, so group 3 radicals. Here it gives less amount of carbonate ion, and which is sufficient to exceed the solubility product. In this way, these ions get precipitated as their carbonates. Okay. So first note down this, then write down some points. So look here, diamond HCl is added before passing H2S gas to analyze the group 2 radicals. So group 2 radicals precipitate as the sulfides because the sulfides have lower value of Ksp. So before passing H2S gas through aqueous solution, the solution must be acidified with dilute HCl. The function of adding HCl is to suppress the concentration of sulfide minus ion in solution due to the common ion effect H plus. So in this it suppresses. So still the sulfide ion concentration is sufficient to exceed the ionic product value than the solubility product, and hence the radicals get precipitated. Similarly, for the analysis of group 3 radicals, ammonium chloride is added to the solution before adding ammonium hydroxide. So if the group 3, 4, 5 are present, so if ammonium chloride is added before ammonium hydroxide, then the purpose is to decrease the concentration of OH minus ion, and this low value of hydroxide ion is sufficient to exceed the ionic product than that of the solubility product. In this state, these ions get precipitated. These group 3, while the hydroxides of group 4 and 5, 6, they do not get precipitated because their hydroxides have higher Ksp value, and group 3 radicals have the hydroxides of group 3 radicals have lower Ksp value. So due to common ion effect, the concentration of OH minus decreases. This is sufficient to exceed the Kip value than the Ksp value. So similarly, for the analysis of group 4 radicals, H2S gas is passed in alkaline medium. So group 4 radicals precipitate as their sulfides. They require high concentration of sulfide ion than that of the group 2 radicals. So in this way, in presence of ammonium hydroxide, NH4OH minus, which is OH minus, and H2S being a weak electrolyte, which is H plus and sulfide ion, this H plus and OH minus combines to form water. In this way, as the concentration of this H plus ion decreases, the equilibrium shifts towards right, forming more amount of H plus and sulfide ion again. In this way, concentration of the sulfide ion increases, and for example, the concentration of sulfide ion and Zn2 plus ion, this ionic product exceeds the solubility product, and hence these ions get precipitated. While the other higher groups, that is group 5 and group 6, that their sulfides are still higher Ksp value, and these ions do not get precipitated. Okay. So for the analysis of group 5 radicals, ammonium chloride is added before addition of ammonium carbonate. So group 5 radicals, they precipitate as their carbonates, that are calcium, barium, strontium, Ca2 plus, Ba2 plus, Sr2 plus. Okay. So they precipitate as their carbonates because their carbonates have lower value of solubility product. And ammonium carbonate, ammonium being a weak electrolyte, dissociates slightly, and ammonium chloride, strong electrolyte, dissociates completely. So due to common ion ammonium ion, the equilibrium shift towards right. It gives more amount of undissociated ammonium carbonate and less amount of carbonate. Still, this value, this concentration is sufficient to exceed the solubility product value. Suppose example Ca2 plus concentration and carbonate concentration CO3 2 minus concentration. This is the Kip value is greater than the Ksp value. In this way, it will get precipitated. Okay. Now, so these are some applications, and some applications are also you have discussed in common energy, that is the solubility product, that is the salting out of soap, and another is the to find out the pure sodium chloride from impure sodium chloride solution. That is also based on the solubility product value. So both these are interrelated. Common and solubility product both are interrelated. Okay. So now let us solve some numerical problems. Now let us solve some numerical problems. The solubility of silver chloride in water at 298 Kelvin is 1.06 10 to the power minus 5 moles per liter. Look whether it is given moles per liter or not. If it is given in grams per liter, then divide by the molecular mass, you will get moles per liter. If any other volume given, then convert that to what is this concentration per liter, then you solve. So always try to solve in moles per liter. Okay. So and it is given, so you know AgCl give rise to Ag plus and Cl minus. So as this is solubility is S, so this is salt type AB. If the salt type is AB, then what is the relation between solubility and soluble product? Then its Ksp value is equal to S square. 1 to the power 1, 1 to the power 1, S to the power 1 plus 1, S square. So the solubility is given is S. So this Ksp is equal to 1.06 into 10 to the power minus 5 mole per liter square. So in this way, this answer is 1.12 10 to the power minus 10 mole square and per liter square. Okay, mole square per liter square. In this way, you can find out. This is mole square or liter square. Okay. Next come to question number 2. In question number 2, it is given the solubility of CaF2 in water. Same type of question, only the coefficients are different. So CaF2, it give rise to Ca2 plus 2F minus. So this is of salt type AB2. That means here coefficient 1, here 2, 1 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, S to the power 1 plus 2. If the solubility is S, then what is this Ksp? As it is the salt type AB2 type salt. So its Ksp is equal to 4S to the power Q. That is 4 into S value is given, that is 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 4 to the power Q. And the unit is given mole liter inverse to the power Q. The same thing, 2.1 10 to the power minus 4 mole liter to the power Q. In this way, so its value, you calculate the cube of this and then multiply by 4 and you will get the answer 4.14 into 10 to the power minus 11 mole liter inverse mole cube and liter minus cube. Okay, 4.14 10 to the power minus 11 mole cube and liter minus cube. Next come to question number 3. In question number 3, what is given? This is the different type. Here is given the solubility product. What is the solubility of Ag2CrO4 in water if the value of solubility product is 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 11. So here Ag2CrO4, it dissociates as 2Ag plus CrO4 2 minus. It is again of type A to B type of salt. In this, if the solubility is S, then what is the relation between solubility and solubility product? So Ksp is equal to 4S cube. Then S cube is equal to Ksp by 4, or S is the cube root of Ksp by 4. This is the cube root of Ksp by 4. Okay, this is the cube root of Ksp by 4. So this Ksp value is given 1.3 10 to the power minus 11 by 4. 1.3 10 to the power minus 11 by 4 to the power 1 by 3. So find this value, you will find 1.48 into 10 to the power minus 4 mole liter inverse. Okay, so answer is 1.48 10 to the minus 4 mole liter inverse. Next come to question number 4. In question number 4, it is given the solubility product of silver bromide is silver bromide AgBr. It gives rise to Ag plus Br minus. This again salt of type AB type salt. What is the relation between solubility and soluble product? Ksp is equal to S square, or S is equal to square root of Ksp. So this is the relation between solubility product and solubility. Ksp is equal to S square. What type of salt? First look at this, then find out the relation. And the salt of type AB type, so Ksp is equal to S square. S is equal to root over of Ksp. And the Ksp value is given 7.7 into 10 to the power minus 13 mole per liter. Mole 7.7 10 to the minus mole per liter square. It is given. So just find out the square root of this. So if you find out the square root of this 7.7 10 to the minus 13. So to make it easy, first find out this 77 and 10 to the power minus 12. So 77 and 10 to the minus 12 is 10 to the minus 6 and 77. This is in between 8 and 9. You will get the answer. So its value is 8.77 into 10 to the minus 14. 77 10 to the minus 14. 10 to the minus 14 10 to the minus 7. It is 77. This is between 8 and 9. You will get the answer. That is 8.77 into 10 to the power minus 7 moles per liter. In this step, you can solve this type of problem. Another type of question may come, that is concentration of some, suppose Ag plus and Br minus given and the Ksp value given. Will the precipitate form or not? So in this way, first multiply what is the concentration value is given, Ag plus concentration and Br minus concentration. If this value exceeds the solubility product, then the precipitate will be formed. If this value is less than the soluble product, then no precipitate will be formed. Okay, so this is for today.